We also need to add into the equation when we talk about Jill Stein that she has chosen a running mate for vice president who is a total extremist. If you regularly watch or listen to this show, you know this is not a show where I will cheerlead anything that has a supposedly progressive stamp on it. If you want a show like that, there are many shows like that. Okay, I don't even need to name them for you. You can find those. I am going to be completely upfront that when there is a critique I need to make of something that is supposedly progressive, I will make it. And Jill Stein has chosen Ajamu Baraka as her running mate for the presidency on the Green Party ticket. We've already talked about Jill Stein's anti-science views, the Green Party's pro-homeopathy views. Okay, fine. What about Ajamu Baraka? Well, he's written that President Obama and other members of the black petite bourgeoisie are merely puppets, living proof that the white supremacist machine has hijacked the minds of black people. Okay. Also wrote an article on his blog titled Paris Attacks and the White Lives Matter Movement, where he argues that France, Belgium, and other nations that have been affected by terrorism effectively got what they deserved, saying while the victims of the violence in Paris may have been innocent, France was not, he wrote, because the crimes committed against Arabs, Muslims, and Africans and the horrors of colonialism and the concerted effort by the French and U.S. authorities to fund extremist groups in the Middle East are to blame for the woes of Western societies. According to Baraka, the Sanders campaign didn't offer a genuine program for radical change. I mean, we're talking about free education, government-provided health care. That apparently was not radical enough because it was tacitly committed to Eurocentrism and, as he says, the Bernie Sanders campaign normalized white supremacy. He's written on his blog that Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad isn't a bad guy who was, after all, reelected by big margins, and that he is not engaged in any war crimes against his people, demonstrably untrue. He went on Kevin Barrett's Truth Jihad podcast, which is basically a 9/11 truther podcast, and said that some recent airline crashes were false flags, that the Democratic Party is white supremacist, and he is also saying that the U.S. is intentionally supporting ISIS. Now, we've talked about how weapons get to groups that the U.S. claims to oppose, but to flat out say the U.S. is flat out supporting ISIS is a bit further than most rational, clear thinkers are willing to go. If this is the liberal hero of the supposedly miraculous Green Party, Lewis, I want nothing to do with it. This is an extremist.
You would never think that he would be part of the Green Party in any way.
Right.
If you just, read what he was about. Unbelievable. Maybe he was just picked because Jill Stein knows she's not going to win, but this is someone who maybe could get her more votes that she might not otherwise have.
Okay.
Who does this guy really appeal to? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Anybody who truly analyzes what this individual has written and said and identifies as a progressive, there's a fundamental clash there. I don't know how you could say, I am a true progressive, and after reading what Ajamu Baraka has read and said over time, that's who I want to support. I don't get it. So you all know I voted for Bernie Sanders, and you all know very clearly that I am not supporting the Stein-Baraka ticket in November. Bring on the hate. Tell me where I am wrong. We will take a break. I've talked about how people of all ages, but particularly millennials, are owning cars less and participating more in the sharing economy. And one of the more popular options is Zipcar, which gets you a car when you want it, when you need it. They offer all sorts of cars, SUVs, hybrids, whatever you need. It includes insurance and it includes gas. You just pay for the time that you actually use the car. And you can reserve the car online from your smartphone over the phone. Then you unlock it with your Zip card. Each car share member reduces their personal CO2 emissions by between 1,100 and 1,600 pounds per year. For our audience, Zipcar is offering $25 of free driving credit if you sign up at joinzipcar.com/David. Support our show, reduce your carbon emissions and your spending on cars. Sign up at joinzipcar.com/David.